jab, uppercut, leave you laid out on the floor. Try to duck and roll, hit and miss, now you counting stars. Should've practiced more, should've hit the mask, get out there more. Claim that you're the best. You gotta show me, son. Actions over words, baby boy. Is you real or what? Talking way too much, world come. Back sports, talking way too much, world come. Back sports, talking way too much, world come. Back sports,
Yo, big shout out to the hottest chat in the MF and game, A-Side official. No negotiation needed, period. You already know WCS back in the building. What's good? Salute to those who on deck. Stickin' Boys Fishing and Sport in the building. I see you. Appreciate you pulling up as always. One love, man. And everybody who's en route. Let's get down to what we are expecting when it comes to boxing. You know what I'm saying? Of course, we're looking for the rollout or the manifestos for 2025. That's very important because I'm a part of boxing topics in 24 was the big fights, who we're going to see and not see. People are still attempting to wish upon a star that PBC, rolls out a grandier freaking schedule. You know what I'm saying? But I think a lot of them are not looking at who's left of the PBC, what fighters are left, because in this year, 24, we've seen a lot of fighters transport away from PBC, dark matter into the universe of another freaking promotion. I'm just being honest. So I don't think they're individuals who was avid PBC supporters was taking that in consideration, that when it comes to the biggest name over there, who is it? Tank is not signed with PBC, but he's still somewhat have an attachment with Al Heyman in general or whoever over there. Errol Spence Jr. is one of the names that people continue to highlight, man. They're desperately seeking Spence. You know what I'm saying? They're desperately seeking Spence. Every time his name pops up, they just want to put HOPE in the bright lights, yo. They just want that constellation to shine bright. They want Spence to come back to Earth like a meteorite. Seriously, y'all. They are hoping and wishing that they can wake up in the morning and the PBC retrograde for future fights says Errol Spence Jr. versus. That's what they want. For real. That's what they want. In the meantime, let's go over here to the DAZN. The DAZN has taken off. I remember when they was making their debut, and man, these American boxing fans were saying that Eddie Hearn, he's not going to do anything that's positive for boxing. He don't know what he got going on. They felt that Eddie was trying to take over, yo. It's funny how they was mad that Eddie take over, but Turkey Al Sheik is taking over. And sort of kind of, he's taking over because he's affiliates with all the active promoters that's over here that's been here for homesteaded for quite some time. I'm talking about roots. I'm talking about their history is cultivated in American boxing. But they was feeling some type of way. How Eddie Hearns, how dare him believe that he's going to come over here and do this, that, and the other. But here is the fight card for December 21st, Riyadh, DAZN. You have the much anticipated reclash. Yeah, I'm going to say reclash in the rematch of Alexander Usyk, who picked up all the straps. He is the current heavyweight unified world champion. He versus the former WBC world champion Tyson Fury for the WBA, WBC, and WBO heavyweight titles. Also, we see Sergey Boychuk, who was supposed to fight Israel Madrimov. Madrimov was scheduled for a 2-for-1. If he got past Boychuk, which would have been a tough fight for him, assumingly, he's now facing Ismail Davis, the fighter who stepped in for Madrimov, who ended up coming down with bronchitis. So, that co-main event should be extremely entertaining, and the main event, it goes without saying. It was a hellified contest in part one. We seen Fury get rocked. Once again, we seen the referee perform in a way that we have to ask ourselves, say, what? Why did you do that? You know how boxing goes. Always remember, just like you have influencers on social media, you always have influencers in professional boxing. And that is the judges, okay? The 3 judges that's outside the ring apron, the referee, okay? The third man in the ring, who ultimately is the puppet master, because they have received the orders for whatever result that they want to get, depending on the magnitude of the fight. And then you have the commissioner, okay? You have the commissioner. Long as those 3 entities are in the sport of boxing, and we don't know what the chain of command is on who they answer to, because the judges, they can have a wide margin within a fight, and we complain and grumble. We all grumpy about it, but we never hear anything about any punishment. Real talk. I mean, the free will of them judges is incredible. We just seen that shit play out in a recent fight. You know what I'm saying? 117, 111. And you have to ask yourself, what were you looking at? But anyway, January 8th, Queensland. The zone is cooking, man. They already have the top of the year, first semester 2025. Ja Upathaya against Sakara, Hussein Sankara, for Upathaya's IBF Cruiserweight title defense is on the line. Then the 18th, the zone is rolled out. Tommy Fury versus Darren Till. If you don't know who Tommy Fury is, he's the brother of Tyson Fury, okay? Younger brother Tyson Fury. And Darren Till is a former UFC contender. Who, another fighter who's cross-threading, trying to make his debut and trying to dabble, so to speak, in cross-threading combat sports. So now he wants to don the gloves and come over here and fight in the 4-corner domicile, on the battlegrounds. And he wants to do that in front of Tommy Fury. Darren Till was one of those guys who had mad potential in the UFC. But when he stepped in there with Tyrone Woodley, and got crushed, it kind of derailed any of what he was talking about. Like, he has heart, he has the mouthpiece to get people riled up, but he just couldn't get it done as far as the wins. January 24th, Tokyo, man. Goddamn, the DAZN have they shits like silk sheets. That shit is out here, yo. And Naoya and Inoue versus Sam Goodman for Inoue's undisputed junior featherweight championship. Now, my take on this, man, I'm not looking forward to no damn Sam Goodman. But, both of them are boxers. I don't know why Inoue is fighting this guy. I really don't know what it does. I don't know why Inoue is able to fight this type of opposition in Japan and really, over here in the U.S. In my opinion, the mics aren't as loud as they are if we have fighters just fighting opposition. You know what I'm talking about. There's people already complaining about, Tank fighting Lamont Roach and all this. But, long as Naoya Inoue is in Japan fighting who the hell he wants to, out of sight, out of mind, people continue to say, well, he's in a way. He can do what he wants. He's a 4-division champion, 2-division undisputed. Okay. If that's going to be your mentality, just basically stay and keep the same energy when other fighters are involved. That's all. So he's headlining an entire card in Tokyo, Japan. And shout out to my Japanese countrymen. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to y'all. You know what I'm saying? One love to Japan. One love to the Japanese. February 1st, once again, the DAZN is on deck. David Benavidez versus David Morrell, the Tale of Two Davids. Yes, this is the Tale of Two Davids, y'all. They are headlining a 12-round championship showcase for Benavidez WBC interim light heavyweight title and Morrell's WBA light heavyweight title. Okay? Interim. Now, we all know who the man is at 175. Arthur Beterbiev. Arthur Beterbiev. Yeah, those three guys right there, the same guy. Yes, Superman. He is the man who came off the victory over Dimitri Bivol, and we're pending a rematch. I know you don't remember, but I just said, you remember when I did a live, it was probably last year or the early part of this year, where I said that a lot of these great fights aren't rematching one another. It's just one and done. I was talking about how the black fighters don't fight each other twice. Back in the day, they did. But it seems like only the hardcore fans that want to talk about back in the day are the ones who mention it. You know what I'm saying? The newer casual community, I don't think they really care. When they see these rematch happenings, like heavyweights rematch, we was able to witness Deontay Wilder and Tyson Fury. It wasn't too many heavyweights out there that was doing what Deontay Wilder was doing. You have more people talk about other collective criticism rather than what we actually witnessed. Him fighting who? Luis Ortiz twice. Him fighting Tyson Fury twice. That's what they used to do back then. Now we have, hopefully we'll be able to see Beterbiev and Bivol rematch, what I like. Also, I'm happy to see that Tyson Fury and Alexander Usyk is not a one and done. I like that. Then you have to ask yourself, is the two Davids materializing into something special? The energy is there. The disrespect is there. You know what I'm saying? The tale of two Davids. One is from Ecuador and the other one's from Cuba. I mean, this is what we want. You know, they always say, "Oh man, we don't want to see two black fighters fight, two Mexican fighters fight," because you know it was a voice that said this perfectly. You know, a Mexican. I forgot what his name. I was on D Block Spaces the other night. He said it. The Mexicans, they support their own. Like I told you, the Mexicans support their own. They'd rather see a Mexican fight a black or a European rather than a Mexican fight a Mexican. I told you all that. So when it comes to the Teller Two Davids, you know, people want to say, well, David's not totally Mexican. I really don't care about that because when it comes to blacks, that's one conversation. Hey, it can go 1,000 different ways, man. What were you born at, man? You ain't from the hood, man. Yeah. Man, how many parents you had in your household? One or two. Man, you had two. Oh man, please, you didn't go through nothing. You know what I'm saying? I mean, we got some different conversational pieces. But the Tale of Two Davids, could this materialize into a rival? We missed out tremendously on Errol Spence and Terrence Crawford. We would have loved to get that rematch. Loved it. You know what I'm saying? We just experienced the Robisa Ramirez and Rafael Espinosa, aka El Elbow Amigo. You know what I'm saying? But the Tale of Two Davids, man. I like everything about this fight. You know what I'm saying? You have Brandon Figueroa and Stephen Fulton in the co-main. We have Isak Cruz and Angel Fierro, junior welterweight. Then Jesus Alejandro Ramos versus Jason Rosario, the junior middleweight. So that's a nice card. That's a nice main card right there, February 1st, Las Vegas. That is a nice, solid extravaganza for an evening of boxing. I love it. Shout out to DAZN. I mean, they have the rollout, y'all. Look at this. Look at this. Clarissa Shields returning back to Flint versus Danielle Perkins for Shields' WBC Women's Heavyweight title and WBO Women's Light Heavyweight title and the vacant WBA Women's Heavyweight title. It just got titles vacant everywhere, man. It sounds like Christmas over an open fire. It seems like Christmas. Okay, you know, going to February 8th, you know, it gets a little shady. You know, like a little snowflakes are coming down. You know, a little foggy out there. Derek Chisora versus Otto Wallin heavyweight. I try to explain to boxing fans all the time. You all are very picky about the appetizers that you want to snack on and that you want to say, oh man, yes, this is number one right here. I like this appetizer. And then the other ones you want to frown upon. And what I mean by this is that when we just have the boxers' names that come up as, you know, appetizers that we are fully aware of and familiar with, right? That they've been in the sport for a long time. They're not really challenging for a belt and this, that, and the other. Derek Chisora is one of them. I mean, I got mad respect for Derek Chisora, but he's just out here fighting. And that man, I swear to God, between him and Dillian White, they nobody criticized them. They come up for a fight, and it's cool. It's cool. Derek Chisora back. But over here in the U.S. footprint, man, you got them after one loss. You have boxing fans up here saying, oh, they should retire. Like yesterday, they should retire. I'm not spending my tax dollar money on that guy anymore. I tell my honey, I say, don't go up there to concession stands. Don't feed him no more. We just out here because we're bored. And we heard that Derek Chisora was fighting. His resume, he's been in there with some tough ones. I tell you, G. Willikers. But goddamn it, he don't goddamn win consistently. I mean, they let Derek Chisora just come in that motherfucker. And it's minimal kickback. But anyway, moving on. February 22nd. Ta-da! The zone is on deck with the rollout, y'all. I'm talking about forget a red carpet. Forget the red carpet. Forget a red carpet. They have rolled out the largest flying carpet. Royalty. They have rolled out the first semester of their fight card is already in print. You feel me? It's in print. February 22nd, Riyadh, DAZN. You have Arthur Beterbiev versus Dmitry Bivol. The much awaited, anticipated, undisputed light heavyweight title fight for Beterbiev's WBA, WBC, IBF, WBO, and the ring belts. Are you ready? That's going to be a hell of a rematch, yo. Everybody's going to talk they talk, but goddamn it, this is the zone, so I am looking forward to see and hear about the other big fight card that's supposed to be on this day. But I just wanted to highlight the zone because they are on deck. Daniel Dubois versus Joseph Parker for Dubois' IBF heavyweight title. Man, shout out to Daniel Dubois and Joseph Parker. I always liked Joseph Parker, man. You know what I'm saying? Not just from where he's from and the ceremonial pre-fight. And I respect all that. I seen a lot of that when I was overseas, man. Much respect. Daniel Dubois, I've recently became a semi fan of because of what he experienced with Usyk. You know, the backlash. I mean, the turbulence was at an all-time high when you talking about inclement weather for Daniel Dubois. They was raining criticism. They was denigrating Daniel Dubois any chance they got because they say the man quit in there against Alexander Usyk, all because he didn't get the knockdown that a lot of people felt that was legitimate knockdown, but the ref didn't call it. But he since redeemed himself, stopping Jarrell Miller. You know what I'm saying? Stopping Filip Hrgovic, a heavyweight prospect riser. And then going in there and knocking the confetti, styrofoam, freaking electric tape. You know what I'm saying? Loose leaf paper. You know what I'm saying? Dead leaves. Lint balls. Installation. Old installation. You know what I'm saying? Plastic. Any soft materials that you can come up with. Cotton balls. Daniel Dubois crushed Joshua. The most overrated heavyweight of this era. Crushed him. Crushed him. Crushed him. In a championship fight at that. Then you have Shakur Stevenson versus Floyd Schofield for Stevenson's WBC lightweight title. Boy, that's going to be a hell of a motherfucking card. February 22nd, Riyadh. You talk about not getting the fights you want. But goddamn it, this fight right here is motherfucking super overweight. You want to talk about obese? This fight card right here is goddamn just nasty. The body fat percentage is just over. The BMI, the body mass index of this card is just sloppy. You know what I'm saying? Just tell them, put on the wraps, pick up the gloves. I mean, you know what I'm talking about. This is just stupid fat. Carlos Adames versus Hamza Sharat. What? What? Man, this is crazy, shawty. Virgil Ortiz versus Israel Madrimov. God damn, for Ortiz WBC World Interim Super. This is a stupid fatty fat. leaking cholesterol on the motherfucking Mac. Twinkie eating, Big Mac having, popcorn popping, honey bun eating, meatloaf and potatoes with mac and cheese, corn, all that shit. Thanksgiving meal. Chitlins with hot sauce. This card is extremely obese. Fat as you ever want to see a card. Jolly Jane against Ajit Caballero and Joshua Buatsi versus Callum Smith. God damn. Somebody tell them to shut down the buffet. Blood pressure is high. For real. This right here is what you call the card of diabetes. It's so fat. It's so many goddamn matchups on this card, man. This right here is what you asked for before Turkey Al Sheikh was on deck. This is what you get now that he's here. 10. Fall in. Turkey Al Sheikh has fallen in to the boxing arena and has put his stamp on the game. This card is potentially the heaviest, and it may not be another card to supersede that. In February 22nd, 2025. Boy, what you talking about? That shit right there is a goddamn. I'm talking about. You definitely got to go get your blood and sugar checked on this bitch. It's too sweet. This card is too sweet, yo. For real. This is too sweet, man. I mean, you have like 8 different cheeses on this motherfucker. You're lacing it with your favorite goddamn sauce on top. The calories of this fight card is not countable. It's impossible to calculate what you're getting for this card when it comes to the calorie intake. The card itself is one of the largest buffets we've seen in a while when you're talking about matchups. This is incredible. Unbelievable. This is what boxing fans would dream of if they can just get at least about out of a 12-month calendar. At least 6 of these type of fight cards. Just half of the year. You know what I'm saying? Just half. That's all. Just half. Just like when you go into the divorce court and you feel you did everything right. You got your turn and just say, it's community and it's half. So yeah, she gets fit. I'm serious. If we can get half of the year, that means 6 of these right here. Because, after watching these cards, now I'm just prognosticating. I'm just putting the forecast out there. This card is crazy, yo. Somebody dropped a whole bag of sugar in the Kool-Aid. Whole bag. You stir it up and you take. God damn. Shit. All right, it's good. Let me put it in the fridge. You see the sugar at the bottom? This is one of this card. This shit is just over the top, bro. Seven motherfucking entrees matched up February 22nd in Riyadh. That has to be the absolute card of the mother effing year so far. Now, if Amazon Prime has anything that's going on with freaking PBC, cool, I want to see it. But this shit right here, this This shit right here is a good shit. What? God damn. That's that chronic. And that's that old school. This card right here, that old school chronic, yo. I mean, look, it's a lot of fights that you wanna say to yourself. If who's gonna win? If so and so's win, it's a change that's gonna happen. You know what I'm saying? Adamas has the WBC belt. He was elevated after Jamal Charlo was on goddamn cops and shit. You know what I'm saying? He made another cameo appearance. So they say no, hit and run, goddamn, fleeing and running to a vehicle, taking off again. Getting out, doing this, that. I mean, it's just too much. But he actually has a WBC middleweight title. Shakur Stevenson definitely has a WBC lightweight title. Daniel Dubois, yes, absolutely has the IBF heavyweight title. And that goes without saying for the main event. Boy, what? What? Beterbiev and Bivol is doing it again? Who would have thought that the Turk would come in and start tap dancing to his own music and say, hey, I told you. Hey. No. Don't underestimate. No, I told you. I make big fights. And that February 22nd Riyadh, God damn, that motherfucker is crazy. And look how everything else just go. Like March 1st, Las Vegas, Gervonta Davis versus Lamont Roach for Davis' WBA lightweight title. We need to see that undercard. We need to see that, man. March 15th, we got Nick Ball, TJ Donaghy for Ball's WBA featherweight title. You know what I'm saying? But I just wanted to kind of let y'all see the rollout. I mean, that February 22nd, that's going to be tough because if you look back down here, right? This is after the February 22nd, but thankfully, this February 22nd is in Riyadh. So, we should still have a very solid turnout for whatever the undercard is looking like for March 1st in Vegas. You know what I'm saying? But that card right there in Riyadh season is incredible. Incredible. I'm definitely gonna screenshot that right there, yo. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna bring that over here for you all. I'm gonna put that up there for your viewing pleasure. Those of you that's taking lunch right now on a Tuesday, that card right there is the card to beat right now. Real talk. No ifs, ands, or buts about it, goddammit. That's the card to beat. That is the card to beat. Shout out to the chat, man. Christopher White in the building. What's good with it, Christopher? One love to you, brother. Salute to you, man. Always supporting the channel, no doubt. Peludas, what's good? PBC days are numbered. Well, I don't know. What number are you talking about? 1, it has a higher value than 0. So if they're at 1 or 2, they still gotta, they gotta process the build on. You know what I'm saying? But I don't know what to say, to be honest with you, big dog. I can't defend. I don't know what to do. I can't advocate. People keep saying prime. But it sounds like to me they keep line. What is going on? But that card right there is super heavy. Ooh. That card right there, bro. Relationships are gonna goddamn split up. Motherfuckers playing around and unplug that motherfucker. You know what I'm saying? Just playing around with the wrong fight on. I mean, bro, that's a heavy card. Hey, shout out to Christopher White with the $2 super chat in the building. I appreciate you, big dog. You know what I'm saying? One love for always supporting, the channel, no doubt. Just refreshing the super chat. I appreciate you, man. Real talk, man. Blessings to you and yours and the friends and fam, man. Thanks for always supporting the channel, brother. Trey said Benavidez is shook and pressure is real. I mean, shook like what? Shaking the microphone when he was talking his shit? What do you mean shook? Christopher said that's a fire car, man. That shit is a blaze, ain't it? I'm talking about arsonists. Is they looking for arsonists to goddamn hire doing this promo? They look, they have positions available for arsonists. Local arsonists welcome. They want them to set little small fires to lead up to this card. God damn. That's the card of the era so far. I haven't seen a card this heavy, and this should be on some of these content creators, topic of discussion. What card can compete with this? Turkey Al Sheik has came, and he's absolutely trying to put on. And this card right here so far is the heaviest card I've seen in the last 5 years. I'm serious. This is the heaviest fucking card I've seen in the last 5 years. You know what I'm saying? Big salute and shout out to the MACKMOBB. The mob is on deck. What it do, B-Mac? I see you, man. What's good, WCS? Listen in with my popcorn fam. One love to you in the chat. One love to you, man. Great live the other night. Definitely check out B-Mac. You know what I'm saying? He is the moderator of all moderators when it comes to the motherfucking panels. You know what I'm saying? Great live the other day, man. As always. Y'all definitely check B-Mac out, man. Sub to the brother. Show support. Real talk, man. It's only one mob. It's only one mob. You know what I'm saying? Often imitated, never duplicated. Appreciate you pulling up there, B-Mac. The boxing card is sick, man. You ain't lying, bro. Boxing card is crazy right now. Sam Watson and Hamos should have partnered with the DAZN. I mean, they are. They are. I mean, I'll take that back. Okay, I'm getting ahead of myself on the pinwheel. You're right. You said the DAZN. I was saying more so Turkey Al Sheik and Riyadh season. But you're right. But you know how you have stubbornness. People are obstinate when it comes to what has been going on since 2015. Some people are unwilling to just let go and wipe it clean. You know what I'm saying? Just wipe it clean, bro. Start over. But if you start over, that means you're somewhat having the same format as you did before, but you're not in control because you have so many other people that's with the DAZN now too. Queensberry dropped in, Matchroom dropped. You know what I'm saying? I remember when they were shutting down Matchroom back in the day. Oh, this ain't gonna work. The DAZN match, that ain't gonna work. It's crazy. But man, Al is not gonna do that shit, bro. He's not gonna do it, yo. That's a good point. What shoulda, coulda, hasn't. And it may be a plethora of things as to why that move would never happen. I wouldn't say ego, but you have still some of those channels out here who are advocating. They're hoping and wishing that something comes to fruition. Bars. They're hoping and wishing something comes to fruition. Christmas bars. Shout out to the News by Shaw News Sauce Experience in the building. Salute to you, brother. Team Tucker Fisher on deck. Great interview you just did with Charles Conwell. Shout out to him. One of the most underrated. You know what I'm saying? But he's making his way up the ladder, no doubt. Charles Conwell just said Riyadh season cards are crazy big events. No doubt. No doubt. That's a heavy ass, sloppy, stupid. For real. That card right there is crazy. There's no fight on that card I won't miss. Yeah, for real, man. We definitely on one accord with that. I mean, all the way to Buatsi and Smith. And that's probably, depending on how you stay close to boxing, that right there is still it has the potential. You know what I'm saying? It has the potential. to give you some pyrotechnics. It does, man. It does. That's crazy. And could you imagine if Tank was actually on this February 22nd card? I mean, I'm just saying, it's hard to say, where he would slide in, because it definitely wouldn't be, the main event, in my opinion. Not fighting Lamont Roach. But if Tank was on this goddamn card, oh my God, bro. Come on, bro. Man, come on now. Virgil still has bullchuck problems. I mean, why would you say he has bullchuck problems? And the man was dropped twice, but still got the victory. And then not only that, is for a while now, Virgil Ortiz, ever since he was at 147 pounds, he has had fights where he has experienced adversity. That's why Virgil gets a bit more respect from people. Like, when it comes to the Mexican fighters, it's different, bro, because if it was one, what's that fighter's name? I haven't heard anybody talk about him in a long time. What's that fighter's name, man? Because they used to talk about him so much, and they used to, compliment him. Terrence Bud Crawford. They used to compliment him so much before he went in there and destroyed Spence. Virgil, he had problems with Igis Velasquez. You know what I'm saying? I mean, he had his share of competition that people respected him to step in with. So Bullchuck is no different. He faced adversity with Bullchuck and got back up and kept on banging, right? So they give him that jacket. They he has certificates for that. Not just for participation, but for going in there and giving it his best. That's why, he gets the respect of going in there fighting him a dream off. Because how can Virgil, right, step up to 54? His first fight is under 30 seconds or whatever it was. And then he returns for a heavy fight. Tough with Bullchuck. Looks bad in a way, but still he has his fan base to say, oh, he went and gave it his all. He gave it his all. So for him to be important enough for them to say, Madrimov, you're going in there to fight Bullchuck, and then after that, we want to line you up for Virgil Ortiz. That tells me Virgil Ortiz, his name is ringing bells. His name is ringing bells. You know what I'm saying? Even though it's going to come upon a time where he may not get off the canvas. But right now, the respect barometer with Virgil Ortiz is there. He has a certificate of approval for having that heart and that dog, and he's doing well. So, shout out to that card right there, yo. Real talk. Shout out to that card right there. Now, to the Tales of Two Davids. The press conference just went down. With David Benavidez and David Morrell. And this fight right here, I swear to God, it has picked up enough steam, to basically blow the doors off, for a potential fight of the year candidate. David Benavidez has 29 victories, opposite 0 defeats, 24 coming by way of knockout. He's considered the monster, Bandera Roja. And he's going in there contending against a up-and-comer riser, you know what I'm saying? And David Morrell, who only has, I believe, 11 professional wins. 11 professional wins. But yet, when it comes down to how certain fight fans in the boxing community weigh this fight, I keep hearing them say 50-50. And that's what I don't understand. I don't understand how y'all just say it's a 50-50 fight when other fighters don't even come close to getting that. Like, let's just say the experience that Shakur Stevenson has, versus, put it this way. Let me back up. Oh, okay, Shakur Stevenson and Abdullah Mason, or Keyshawn Davis, or Floyd Schofield. You know, some of these fighters that haven't had the opportunity to be on the championship level yet. Benavidez has had the opportunity to be on the championship level, and that's, you know, it's no bullshit with that. He's been on the championship level and he's did well. He's still undefeated. Now, what happened to him as far as whatever the case may be, you know, with his 2 hiccups, that's in the past. That was at 168. You know, he's moved on from that. But David Morrell, he's 11 victories, 9 KOs. He has an 81.82 knockout percentage to David Morrell, 82.76. Now, if I really want to be petty and make light of this shit, I would say, okay, they're close in knockouts. But come on now. Let's be honest with ourselves if we're playing this game. You know what I'm saying? David Benavidez has triple. You know what I'm saying? Damn near 3 times more knockouts than David Morrell. David Morrell is sitting at 11 wins in his career. Now, a lot of people are going to say, well, let's look at his amateur pedigree and everything else. Hey, you can look at that with a goddamn magnifying glass. Or better yet, call up your local scientist, one of your best friends that was smart in class, and say, hey, do you have a moment? Is there any way I can come down to the lab? I just want to, you know, us to dissect and look at the microorganisms of this matchup between Benavidez and Morrell and see, can we find any other evidence that this is going to be competitive, that this is a 50-50 fight. Because I keep on hearing people say it's a 50-50. All because Morrell has been fast-tracked. Well, let me share screen right quick. All right, let me share screen right quick, because I want people to understand this. I don't want to disrespect nobody, you know, and start speaking fluent Spanish, because I can't. Okay, so I don't want to speak no Spanglish. You know what I'm saying? I don't want to speak no Slanglish or anything like that. But this is David Morrell right here, man, 26 years of age, 2 years younger than David Benavidez. This is David Morrell, southpaw, 6'1", 78.5-inch reach. But as we take the elevator down a couple floors, what do we see? We see Kaleidoscope. Okay, he beat Kaleidoscope 12 rounds. He went, and look, that was a tough fight. You know, it wasn't as easy as it's supposed to be. You know what I'm saying? A Jiggy Bobo. You know what I'm saying? We all saw what happened with Yamaguchi Falcao. I mean, come on, that dude just quit. Dude looked like he just stepped off the soccer field, put on his goddamn trunks, and came to fight. And that was one of the most embarrassing. This right here is one of the most embarrassing competitions. I mean, competitors, opposition of David Morrell's boxing ledger. April 2023, Yamaguchi Falcao. This is the worst, one of the worst. When you're talking about putting him into the conversation with Benavidez, are y'all crazy? And you have Idos Chernobyl, the nuclear plant. They went 12 rounds with him and stopped him in the 12th. You know, Calvin Henderson was a pretty decent while it lasted. Alante Fox stopped him in 4. What I'm trying to tell you is that, and also you have Quinn Rankin down here, stopped him in 2 rounds. What I'm trying to tell you, when it comes down to paperwork, man, I'll debate some panels and all that. It always lead back to the paperwork. So we can't brush this off and say, oh, this don't matter to them, because it has to freaking matter. When it comes down to this paperwork, this boxing ledger, the body of work, the portfolio, what they have been able to accomplish, what's been recorded, David Morrell does not meet all the specifications to say that he's qualified to be a 50-50 challenge or contestant to David Benavidez, not with 11-0 and 9 knockouts. Now, crazier things than happen in boxing. I'm not gonna go through the hypotheticals or what ifs and all this shit. I'm gonna stand on mine and say I don't see how David Morrell has what it takes for this to be his coming out fight. Me myself, I feel it's gonna be just like Crawford fighting Madrimov. He was 10-0. He gonna take a loss. I see David Morrell being 11-1. Period. How it happens, I don't know. But it's nothing that I can see. Even with Spence's eyes, you know what I'm saying? Even with the cataracts. Brand new surgery. I still can't see shit. I can't see it, yo. I cannot see him having enough experience based off his resume, which is mediocre. We have to provide him the same level of temperament when it comes to criticism about his resume because it's absolutely recyclable. His resume is recyclable trash, though. Come on, bro. His resume does not even come close to scratching the surface or being in the same room, or better yet, the same boulevard as a David Benavidez. There's no way in hell. You know what I'm saying? I see this fight being competitive the first 4 rounds. I see David Benavidez pressure being a bit too much and pressure that Morrell has never experienced based off what we have witnessed right here. I'm not saying the fighters are trash. I'm saying the overall encompassing competitors that's on here does not have enough appraising value for his FICO score to be of equal status going into this fight with David Benavidez. I don't see it, yo. Please, somebody tell me if you see it. Take a moment. Those of you, if you need to go get your optics, go get your optics, okay? If you have any magnifying glass, go get it. For some of you nerds out there, go in your basement and pull out your microscope. Please pull out your sample lenses too. Slide it up under there. Goddamn do a screen grab and goddamn print this shit off and put it up on there and see if it's some little fine, minute details that I'm missing. Yamaguchi Falco disqualifies rather David Morrell from even spiritually winning this fight. Yamaguchi Falco this late in the game. I'm talking about last year. I'm not just bullshitting, last year. It disqualifies him from the boxing guards even landing on one of his fucking shoulders. If anything, it's going to be the effect of the seagull. One of them is going to be flying by. Oh, there he goes right here. And they're going to take a shit. I do not see anything coming from the idolatry of boxing that tells me spiritually that David Morrell is going to be blessed to go in there and get a shocker, win a shocker. Now, of course, I have to bring up some of recent status because I know how boxing fans are. You know what I'm saying? Some of you do drink on a Tuesday. I get it. And the closer you get to Christmas, some of you are in there mixing up your own concoction to get ready for family and friends that's coming over in the Christmas holidays. But I know there's going to be people talking about the Hammy McGill fight, being that he went in there with a Frenchman who had 4 knockouts. And then they saying, hey, WCA, man, you ain't watching boxing closely. You don't know shit about boxing, because if you know about shit about boxing, you wouldn't be up here just ignoring the fact that, you know what I'm saying, we just seen Hammy McGill. He's been in there with Canelo. He went 12 rounds with Canelo, and he got knocked out by a guy with 4 knockouts. You're not being fair. Boxing's changed. He has a chance, a puncher's chance. You're being selfish. This is what I try to tell you in your DM. You're being selfish again. No, I'm not. I'm standing on everything. Yamaguchi, Falco disqualifies David Morrell from having any spiritual connection from the pantheon of blessings that may have came his way. Hell to the gnaw, shawty. You cannot have a fighter that was 24-1-1 and looked like he was straight off the Golden Corral buffet, all you can eat, collard greens, chicken tenders, wings, hot dogs, meatloaf. This dude looked like he was absolutely a soccer dad, a gamer, someone who wasn't worried about stepping in there and beating David Morrell. He just came in for a check. First round, look at the fight. One of the worst contestants. So that right there, you know what I'm saying? 24-1-1, it was straight up bullshit. Now, let's see who Yamaguchi fought after David Morrell. Let's see. Wouldn't you know? He never fought another fight just yet after that disaster. Let's take a good old look at old Yamaguchi. Look at him. Come on, man. This guy doesn't look like a boxer. You know what I'm saying? He doesn't look like a boxer. He looks like he loves hanging out at the local clubs, man. He's the life of the party. Brazil, too. He looked like he might have a good little stable, fine-ass females, man, from Brazil. This dude's look like a pretty boy, 36 years of age. That right there, fellas, ladies, it's no way, in my opinion, that David Morrell has qualifications for you all to say that he's a 50-50 against David Benavidez. Yeah, I can go into detail about how this can, totally go different because, it's me saying it right ahead of time, right? Like let's be honest. It's difficult for people to just process if some's actually facts without you actually seeing it for yourself play out. You know what I'm saying? How can you interact with something that you haven't really seen play out yet? It's all imagination, right? I'm telling you to use your imagination. It's cool. Use your imagination on this fight. Imagine, you know what I'm saying, David Morrell having his opportunity to step in there with freaking David Benavidez because a lot of people been wanting to call for this fight since 168. Now they have it. And it's not going to work out the way they believe. Nothing on his resume. Now, of course, this is the opportunity for Morrell to absolutely break out. I mean, look, you want to talk about upsets. This right here, even though people are praising the shit out of Hammy McGee getting stopped by a guy with only 4 knockouts, this is much different because Morrell, he only has a little bit more. But this is a much different one right here. You know what I'm saying? This right here. This is much different. Just pay attention. I forgot I even had the motherfucking thumbnail. Just take a look at this now. Look at this right here. Yamaguchi Falco. Look at this. Look. 24-2-1. Look now. 36. He hasn't fought nobody since David Morrell. That disqualifies David Morrell from having any chance. Look at that resume. Look at that resume. Yeah, his only losing record was his debut. Cool. Cool. But as you go up, the winning records are fighters who was carefully selected and placed in front of David Morrell. So how do we supposed to gauge just because he's a Cuban, Benavidez, Ecuadorian, and so forth? How do we supposed to gauge this being a 50-50 fight? 11-0, 9 knockouts. I don't see it, yo. I just don't see it. It's nothing that's telling me. I don't see it, bro. I mean, maybe I'm not supposed to see it. I don't see this being David Morrell's breakout fight, and his best win of his career is going to come with the Mexican monster, David Benavidez. I don't see what that's going to be. This has any truth to it. I don't see any truth to it. Shout out to Arnold Brown in the building. Shout out to Bud Gonna Stop Canelo on deck. What it do, man? Resumes don't matter. Morrell has skills. Let me put that up there. You know what I'm saying? Let me put that up there. Because one thing about me there, Bud Gonna Stop Canelo, I just like, you know, on the playback game, putting comments up there. So, you know, whoever put the comment out there can pretty much have some evidence that, hey, at one point in time, they felt this could possibly happen while this fighter was fighting. And then after they shut their live down, they can go to the cemetery of old boxers who didn't quite pan out the way that people thought they would. And they can go take these freaking flowers to the memorial and have a printout of this right here. Resumes don't matter. Morrell has skills. Resumes don't matter, y'all. Bud Gonna Stop Canelo said, stop it. You all have had it all wrong the entire time. Resumes don't matter, y'all. You can fight whoever you want to fight. So that's why we having problems with Lamont Roach. Lamont Roach, why is so many people critical of Lamont Roach? It's not his resume, dog. Fuck resumes, man. Bud Gonna Stop Canelo saying, no, y'all had it all wrong, man. F resumes, man. You got that shit twisted, bro. So if we having a boxing debate, what do we go off of? Man, you can't go off resumes, man. You have to go off his goddamn family tree. Pretty much his report cards on what he did when he was in elementary, middle school, high school. Does he attend church? Okay. Do he come back from a religious family and their background? You know, do they go soul winning on Saturday and spread the wonderful religion of the Most High, the Supreme Being? What's the calorie intake? What do they eat at? Do they exercise on a regular basis? How do they groom themselves? Are they hygiene orientated? Anything except a resume, y'all. You have to go off other collective freaking variables that you can base the evidence off of to say that this fight is supposed to be in there with that. Resumes are obsolete because Bud Gonna Stop Canelo says it, yo, for the first time. Hey, resume don't matter for David Morrell. He got skills. Yo, is this the turn of the century? Hey, is he correct? Is David Morrell one of the most special enigmas that we have seen in this lifetime, but we underestimated? Is he set to give us one of the biggest shockers of this era? Is it? And look, do we have a different format right now? Do we have a different format? Truth be told, for real, do we have now a different format? So whenever we go in these boxing, I know B-Mac had a panel the other night. So, you know, it wasn't too much resume based, but sometimes we can have debates and it deals with boxers and what they've done. So if resumes don't matter, how do we calibrate the argument? How do we form deductive reasoning to come up with evidence that one fighter is better than the other? If we went on BoxRec and we just seen, hey, 11-0, but when we stroll down, we no longer see their opposition. Is it better that way now? I mean, we don't see the opposition and we just see the record. Is it better just to keep us in the dark? Is that a new way of determining if a fighter has skills just based off video, YouTube videos, highlights? Maybe, that should happen next, because resumes don't matter, y'all. Seriously, he got skills. Ain't nothing like skills, shawty. It ain't nothing like skills. Shout out to MKB in the building. Shout out to Jessica the Queen on deck. What's good? Ain't nothing like skills, man. Y'all remember that. There's been a lot of fighters with skills, and they end up stepping through the ropes and get killed. You know what I'm saying? It's been fighters with skills and came up short. Shout out to MKB in the building. What's good? What's good? Salute. Bud Gunstock Canelo has somewhat recanted. Your Honor, I would like to present a revision to that earlier argument that I was putting out there. He's now saying resumes matter to a certain extent. We want to identify language, Your Honor. Is it okay? Can I submit this? Okay, cool. Thank you. Thank you. Because if resumes don't matter, we should just erase the bottom half of the lookup of the inquiry and just go off the name and kind of go from there and say, oh, David, okay, it rhymes with David. Okay, give him a check mark for that. Let me see. Where is he from? Cuba? Don't know too much about his childhood. And we really don't even know how old David Morrell is. You know what I'm saying? David could be 48 years old. You know what I'm saying? There's a gap. There's a void of dead space when it comes to researching history of someone's childhood when they come from Cuba. So if he's supposed to be this young guy, he goes in there with David Morrell and gets slaughtered, I guarantee you someone's going to bring this up. Well, we really don't know if he was actually the age he said he was, because we just don't know. We just don't know, to be honest with you. I ain't trying to be prejudiced in that. We just don't know. He's from Cuba. But thanks for turning that around. I was feeling a bit concerned on this Tuesday heading to the holidays, but you're usually on point, dog. I was feeling a little concerned, man. For real. Just watched the Usyk last part of Riyadh season. Homie came out looking like the Prince of Ukraine. We got Zamuli Usyk had the look of coming out. It's definitely not better than better that way. I'm just saying they don't always tell the story of what can happen. I mean, I would have rather you basically been descriptive in that manner. Okay? You know, operations of behavior is very important there, Bud Gunstop Canelo. But when you say resumes don't matter, I have to attach on the back of that a fighter that says skills pay the bills. And I God damn it, we saw him go in there with Canelo, and we understood ASICs gets you to the motherfucking paycheck quicker than any other freaking shoe, because he was running his ass off. So when I heard skills pay the bills, fuck resumes, and I was overwhelmed. I said to myself, how could this be? What's going on? Is it an airborne something contagious? Or like, what's going on in the air? Why would he say such? I hear jokers pulling out knives, throwing belts, all types of Jerry Spring over there at PBC. You know what I'm saying? Hey, they got to get warmed up. Come on, MKB. It's always a warm up. Shout out to MKB in the building, man. You always got to get warmed up, man. People warm up different. Hey, man, we have some individuals that's really, you know, showing their support for David Morrell, and you should, if that's one of your favorite, and you should. You know what I'm saying? No doubt about it. You should. Don't digress from that. You should. But Resumes do play a part, and also the opposition that you've been in there with. None of Morrell's opposition can compare him for Benavidez, period. Like, come on, it's just too much. Like, even Demetrius Andrade, you don't even have an Andrade on your record, man. You don't have a Caleb Plant on your, you don't have a Anthony Durrell on your freaking record. It's just too many come opponents that could become opponents that he doesn't have on his record to prepare him for the adjustments. You know what I'm saying? It's just situations that David has been in, David Benavidez, that Morrell has not experienced. So how is he able to collect data? You know what I'm saying? Process that data. And when it comes time for this fight with Benavidez, he's able to execute based off the training and data that he received from that experience. He hasn't had the experience yet in reality or virtual. You know what I'm saying? Hey, y'all, I'll be back on. Shout out to the hottest chat in the MF game, man. Y'all hold it down. Till next time, peace.